If you're struggling to hear, you've probably seen devices online that promise better hearing for a fraction of the cost. No hearing test, no programming, and no professional involved. They often look like hearing aids and they're marketed to people who are missing conversations. But in most cases, they're not hearing aids at all. They're called personal sound amplifiers, and confusing them with hearing aids is one of the biggest reasons people try something, get frustrated, and give up on getting help altogether. I'm Dr. Shana Stapleton, and in this video, I'm going to explain clearly the difference between hearing aids and sound amplifiers, what they're designed to do, who they're actually for, and why choosing the wrong one can make listening harder, not easier. Why the confusion exists. The confusion makes sense. Both go in or around the ear. Both make sounds louder. Both are sold to people who say, I can hear but I can't understand. So people assume, if it helps me hear louder, it should help me hear better. But louder and clearer are not the same thing. What PSAPs actually do? Personal sound amplifiers are designed to do one thing: make everything louder. Speech, background noise, dishes, traffic, wind. They are not medical devices. They are not customized to your hearing. They don't know which sounds you struggle with and which you don't. Think of them like turning up the volume on a microphone and speaker. Louder? Yes. Smarter? No. There's something very important to understand about personal sound amplifiers. They are not designed to treat hearing loss. Yes, you heard right. Sound amplifiers were originally intended for people with normal hearing who wanted to hear distant or quiet sounds better, like listening to birds, lectures, or specific situations. They are not programmed to compensate for damaged hearing, and they're not designed to restore speech clarity when hearing loss is present. So when someone with hearing loss uses a sound amplifier and feels frustrated, that's not because they did something wrong. It's because the device was never meant to solve that problem. Why louder often fails? Here's the key problem. Hearing loss is not just a volume issue, it's a clarity and processing issue. When everything is amplified equally, speech doesn't stand out, background noise overwhelms conversation, listening becomes exhausting. That's why so many people say everything is louder, but I still can't understand people. That's not user error, that's a design limitation. What hearing aids do differently. Hearing aids are medical devices designed to treat hearing loss. Instead of amplifying everything, they target specific frequencies, emphasize speech, reduce background noise, protect you from sounds that are too loud. Hearing aids are programmed using your hearing test, but that's just the starting point. Two people can have very similar hearing test results and still hear the world very differently. That's why proper hearing aid programming also considers things like how you process speech, your comfort with loud sounds, the environments you struggle in most, and how your brain responds to amplification. This is why simply loading a hearing test into a device doesn't guarantee good hearing. Sound amplifiers can't account for that. When amplifiers might make sense. To be fair, sound amplifiers do have a place. They may make sense if you have normal hearing but need short-term situational help, and you're not dealing with ongoing communication problems, but if you have diagnosed hearing loss or trouble understanding speech, amplifiers are usually not the right tool. Consequences of the wrong tool. When speech isn't processed correctly, your brain has to work harder. Over time, that often leads to listening fatigue, frustration, social withdrawal, and people delaying treatment that would actually help. That's why so many people say, I tried something cheaper, it didn't work, so I gave up. The problem wasn't getting help, it was using the wrong tool. Now if you're thinking, okay, but what about over-the-counter hearing aids? That's a completely different category. Before you compare amplifiers to hearing aids, watch this next video. OTC hearing aids versus prescription, which is right for you.